When I started in life, it was about survival. Emotions were never in conversations in my household, even though there were plenty of emotions and uproar going on around me, I can assure you. Society and my upbringing taught me to hide pain, especially emotional pain, and hide my feelings. Showing emotional pain would make me look weak and vulnerable in a tough world, I thought. I was told if I learned to box like fight and don't show my vulnerability, then I would always win in life. So this approach resulted in me burying all my emotional feelings and pain, which grew to the deepest pain as I got older. Never confronted or resolved anything unless I used my fist or took drugs. So never showing my feelings was life in my world. Stay detached all the time. I took drugs and alcohol to get a state of enlightenment away from this. It gave me an altered consciousness, providing a temporary high and a sense of euphoria away from the struggle within me. This led me to addiction and years in jails and boys' homes. Substance abuse can quickly turn a solution into a problem that lasted years and years for me. Fortunately, I hit rehab as part of a parole situation. I wanted to escape back on the street. I still had the addiction life script within me, of course, but that didn't happen. I stayed there. Shortly after arriving at rehab, a resident confronted me about how my words had made him feel. For me, it was an eye-opening experience. My words had such an emotional impact on him that he openly told me how hurt he was inside. I thought, hurt? I hadn't even used my fist on you. His expression of his emotions was so powerful to me that he had lost the inhibition of expression, his feelings, and told me how he felt inside. This didn't happen in my world. He had been taught at rehab to understand that acknowledging who he truly was required a lot of courage, especially when facing his inner self. Initially, I was dismissive and defensive of his feelings towards me. But I came to understand that emotional pain can be just as real and damaging as physical pain, according to him. Having grown up in jails and boys' homes, I only knew of the physical pain through fights and bad assaults upon me. As I reflected on my experiences in rehab, I came to a profound realization that my emotional pain was so deeply lost through living survival, I couldn't articulate it, nor could I express it verbally. It also became hidden from my conscious way of living. Because of this inadequacy, however, if we take the time to look within ourselves and acknowledge our buried emotional pain, we can begin to work through what it is and change our lives and rise from our emotionally suppressed gravesite. This is what I did, and it just helped me so much. This process may be intimidating and challenging, but our overall well-being must live again without drugs or dependencies. Confronting and addressing emotional pain is the start of breaking substance abuse we use as a temporary relief, or in some cases, just self-medicating. Our fears and worries within can help us grow when we find ourselves in a state of dependency or addiction. We tend to blame the substance for our problems instead of looking at ourselves. The real issue lies in our inability to admit that how we think is the root cause of the problem we see. It's everybody else's fault, or situations or incidents is why I'm an addict. The more we avoid seeing ourselves as the problem in our lives, the less we discover, and the less we discover, the less we can change. The more these unearthed problems unconsciously stand in our way, the less likely we will recover. Acknowledgement of our feelings like fear, failure, love, embarrassment, anger, and other essential feelings is honesty to our natural soul. By confronting and addressing our emotional pain, we can break free from the temporary relief that comes from ignoring it and start to heal ourselves from dependency and substance abuse. If we wish to overcome addiction and dependency, we must confront the fact that our problems are the problem. They're ours. Only then can we make change for the better in our world. What comes from within manifests outside. The journey to recovery is a difficult one that requires a lot of hard work. Hard work is challenging for a reason. If we don't ask ourselves our questions, we won't get our answers to our dependencies and addictions. Life is not easy, and denial is even harder. We are the place where gold is found in overcoming dependency and addiction. Trust me, it's within us. But we can't find it if we do not start digging into our past for answers to our emotional pains and current struggles. It's all in our upbringing. It's all in situations that have happened to us, how we felt in situations. To achieve recovery in life, we must acknowledge that it requires hard internal work, looking at ourselves, digging into our feelings and thoughts. We must be willing to do the things we have never done before, to ask deeper questions, to find newer answers, to access our past unresolved, conscious or unconsciously suppressed emotional pain. And like always, if you found any of this of any value, or if you liked it, subscribe or hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys at the next video. You take care now. Look after yourself.